Hey y'all, it's me Tony and I'm back. I'm here dropping some tea on Shamea's recent interview on the Ricky Smiley show, and she actually opened up about her and Porsha's friendship. Now let's dive into it. Like this video, subscribe to my channel. Here we go. So to start off, the interview was pretty short, I have to say. They asked Shamea about her IVF and they talked about how hard it can be on your body. Shamea actually let us know in this interview that she's no longer going with the surrogate that was picked on the show. And I inserted a photo of the surrogate right here, guys. Apparently there was a lot of discussion about the way the surrogate looked. A lot of people felt like she just looked not up to par, I guess, to be Shamea's surrogate. And Gary with the T and the Brat were asking Shamea why would she pick her, just based on the way she looked. And they were kind of like, laughing about it. I don't know if the surrogate looks bad to me. I think she's just probably a woman who doesn't want to wear makeup, or I really don't know. But a lot of people felt like she wasn't really a good fit for Shamea, and Shamea decided to no longer go with that surrogate. And I don't know. I didn't like that Shamea was I could tell she was trying not to really give into it too much, but they all kept laughing about the way this woman looked. And if y'all know Porsha, y'all know her and the Brat are super close. They used to work on Dish Nation together. So the Brat interviewing Shamea and asking her about Porsha and Shamea's friendship, you could already tell low-key, even though the Brat is being an interviewer, she kind of feels like she has more tea on what is being told in the interview. But anywho, let's get into it. The Brat asked Shamea about, her and Porsha's friendship. Basically, she was asking Shamea, like, is there anything you will undo in the whole season? And Shamea's like, oh, well, I would undo, like, the awkward space that my friendship is in with Porsha. Like, we're real friends, and, the way this is just very, like, sad and all this stuff. And honestly, Shamea, for some reason, it's just not landing. I can tell with the Brat, there's more to the story that she may have heard from Porsha. There may be two sides to the story. Also, it seems like Shamea is selling it too hard. Shamea even goes in and references how people would say that, there's something wrong with her for how much she defends Porsha, and does Porsha have dirt on her and things like that. And it's like, okay, Shamea doesn't really get anything, I don't think. She just doesn't understand fully what's going on. And it's a bit disturbing as a grown 40-something-year-old woman. You're constantly chasing behind a friendship with someone who clearly doesn't want your friendship. But I'm going to attach an audio really quick. You guys check it out.
Y'all let it get to this point, though. How do you let it get to this point when you're such good friends?
In relationships, there's you and then there's them, right? And then there's like your perspective and mine.
Right.
I haven't been able to even have a conversation to understand how it got to this point. Everything that I've done has been centered in love and has led with love. And I've never been one to allow anybody to talk down on my friendship or like my people. And that's just my thing. Now, what's happening on the other side, I have no idea. But there's no way that you, Brat, could come to me and say, Porsha said this or Porsha did this. I'm going to look at you like, girl, please. Stop.
So did the producers tell you to not talk to her a lot? Or did
No, I've reached out. I've done my part, I feel.
Okay.
And, the fact that she's allowing and listening to other people is ludicrous to me. People that she just met.
Like I said, the Brat and Porsha are very close, so you can tell the Brat already has her pre-assumptions based on whatever her and Porsha have probably talked about. You see, she's even asking Shamea, oh, did producers tell you guys not to speak? Like, what? And Shamea's like, no, well, I have tried reaching out. And basically, Shamea is saying she's gotten nothing from Porsha. And to make it even worse, Shamea is saying that this whole issue is because Porsha decided to listen to other people telling her negative things about their friendship. Now, hear me out. This part is even crazier to me. Obviously, just due to future sneak peeks we get of the episode, you can tell that she's talking about Britt, and obviously Porsha and Britt Edie have gotten super close, okay? So you're telling us that Porsha has decided to connect with people that she barely knows, in Shamea's words, aka Britt Edie, and she's deciding that, hey, I'm gonna listen to whatever Britt says about you that's negative, and I'm gonna decide not to be with your friend. To me, that's just an excuse Porsha has to no longer have the friendship because she does not want it. And also, Shamea, I hope you understand with Porsha exiting this friendship, you do need to understand your man may be on limits now. I would say off limits, but if Porsha don't want to be your friend, y'all saw the way she did Fallon. She quickly said, "Oh, we're not friends," and she decided to make a move on Simon. I'm just saying, your man may be on limits now, Shamea. And speaking of marriage, Shamea said that she didn't join the show right away as a housewife in earlier seasons because she wanted to enjoy her marriage with her husband and really develop their foundation. She said that she was, offered opportunities to join, while she was married, but she declined just to make sure their relationship was very strong and not, put anything out there and have them at risk. So I understand that. I think it was mostly her husband, though, because I do recall her husband declining them wanting to do it. And she says that her husband always wants them to maintain a good relationship. He never wanted to do the show. So, in my opinion, Shamea has a good man. I just hope she uses her brain and not let this show get to her head because it seems like it is already, and it has her kind of heading towards a bad light if she doesn't wrap it up soon. But speaking of marriage, Shamea spoke about Angela and the whole thing with, Porsha saying that ridiculous comment that she would screw Charles, Angela's husband. And this is what Shamea had to say about it as a married woman. Shamea is doubling down. She's saying, dang if I'm saying dang, but she really said the D word. Dang if I do, dang if I don't. I have learned the hard way that I need to mind my business. I apologize about not laughing and my part in it. That's not my fault. If Angela Oakley can forgive the person that actually said it, then surely my laughter can and should be forgiven. I've never said that it was okay for her to say that. Furthermore, I don't have to publicly chastise people. I can hold them accountable privately. Bottom line, she's a grown woman. Not my problem, not my fight. Now, Angela responds and says, if my memory serves me correctly, you didn't apologize for your part until Porsha's event, which I accepted. At the Billy Q, you actually doubled down and you didn't see anything wrong with your response, bringing up jokes about your uncle. Hence the end of the conversation. It's actually okay. I misjudged and had a higher expectation for you. Again, I move differently with my friends and it's perfectly fine. I now understand. Boom. Angela just checked the hell out of Shamea, okay? She's letting you know, I thought you were better than that, and I was wrong. Boom. Now that has to hurt. Now I also attached a quick video from the interview. You guys can hear Shamea verbally say, this fool Shamea is still defending her laughing about Porsha's remarks. Listen to it.
She wasn't ready to forgive me for laughing at the stuff that Porsha said, but I'm like, that's not my place. I'm not Porsha's mom. Porsha gonna say what she want to say. Mm-hmm. That's not my place to be trying to. And it was a kiki moment. Yeah. I mean, we were outside, kicking. We say stuff that we shouldn't say when we with our people.
Right.
Yeah. And in her defense, she didn't know that the girl was listening.
Yeah.
And not saying that that's right. Mm-hmm. What she said, I'm not saying that. So don't come into my DM. Somebody gonna do your husband.
Oh yeah,
I hear y'all. I know, and I've gotten that. That's not my fight. Mm-hmm. I ain't got nothing to do with that.
Right.
So y'all heard that. Shamea said it is not her fight. And it was a key moment. Basically, it's all fun and games to Shamea. She said, don't attack her saying that her husband is going to cheat on her. She's already gotten those words and stuff. Like we said, Shamea doesn't take it serious. She doesn't care. She even said, right after she said it's not her fight, that in Porsha's defense, she didn't know the girl was listening. Shamea, are you dumb? Are you stupid? Are you okay? It doesn't matter if Angela was listening or not. It's not appropriate to say that about someone's husband. And the fact that you don't understand that as a wife lets me know you're either okay with it or, you won't be when it's done to you. It's one or the other. And the fact that this girl hooked up Simon and Porsha while she knew Fallon, Shamea, you aren't dodging these sneaky vibes you've been getting. Like, it's just not happening. You don't remain friends with someone like Porsha for this long without having similarities. What's that Billie Eilish song? Birds of a feather. Yeah, that's Shamea and Porsha sticking together. Okay? These are birds of a feather. But y'all get in these comments, like the video, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think, okay? Because I've had enough of this season already. These ladies are draining me, and we're about to see it get much worse because they decided to add Phaedra, and I do like Phaedra. However, I don't like Phaedra's lies, okay? And we already know that Phaedra is coming on to not get along with Angela and Drew. And guess what? Angela and Drew just so happen to be two women that Porsha does not like. So this show is just giving Porsha and the liars. Porsha the puppet master. Anyway, I had enough of this. Y'all get in here. Let me know what y'all think. Bye.